Well, as we've discussed, a new CNN ORC poll has Donald Trump leading Hillary Clinton 45% to 43% among the top 4 candidates nationally.
And among independents, he holds an even bigger lead with 49% to Clinton's 29% support.
So what does this mean? 9 weeks out from the election and just 2 weeks from the first presidential debate.
Yeah, here to discuss is the president of Ipsos Public Affairs, Cliff Young. Cliff, thanks for being here this morning so early.
Good morning.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
Well, it's great to have you. Let's start breaking down. You look at the last 4 weeks and the changes that we've seen in the polls. I mean, according to some, Donald Trump has upped, what, 11 points?
Well, definitely. There has been a narrowing over the last week or so. And the question is why? Why has this happened? We really have a race going into the last 2 months. It'll be very exciting. But the question is why? Let's step back a bit and talk about Trump and what he had to do before the conventions. He went into the conventions. He had a fairly high bar going into that. He had a base that wasn't quite sure about him. Remember, he's an outsider candidate, anti-establishment candidate. He went into the convention. It was noisy at best. He had a lot of confusion post-convention with the Khan issue. So he came out of the convention relative to Hillary Clinton kind of weak, damaged in the short term. So what's happened over the last, so the question is what's happened over the last few weeks, right?
What do you think has happened? What's been the game changer?
Yes, but what he's done is he was off message and inefficient over the last couple weeks after the convention. He was able to focus on message, really focus and be more efficient in what he was saying. He was able to focus on those sort of conservative issues which are important. You go into the speech that he did in Arizona, his trip to Mexico. All these sorts of initiatives really have energized the base. So in the last week or so, he's really energized that base, which has narrowed the gap.
And he's really increased his numbers specifically in terms of honest and trustworthiness. If we can take a look at that poll, Hillary Clinton now at 35% and Donald Trump at 50%. So that's a huge margin.
Yes, that is a huge margin, and this is a characteristic of his that he's had since the primaries. He might say different things. People might accuse him of flip-flopping back and forth, but the average voter sees him as genuine, as someone that they can trust, as someone that could potentially fix the system.
Yeah, let's look at some of the issues, because the issues that voters care about most. You look at the economy, Trump 56% there, and who they think does better on terrorism, Trump again beats her by 51%. You look at these numbers, Cliff. What does he have to do to stay where he is right now in the polls?
He needs to keep on hammering those messages, those key issues. He has to come out with concrete proof points showing that he is credible on the economy, that he is credible on terrorism. And this is a very important point, because even when Hillary was in the lead by 8 to 10 points, if you peeled away the onion, they were always dead even on those key issues. He just needs to stay on message, be efficient, not get off on tangents. And over the last couple of weeks, he's really done that. The last point, and I've been making this since the primaries, is that he's really an earned media superstar. He was able to control the primaries, the airwaves, relative to the other candidates.
Can he do that in the general, though? I mean, that's the big question.
You know, that's the huge question. I believe the first proof point that he can, he's very talented there, was the last week. Indeed, he controlled it for 5 days. The immigration speech on the one hand, the trip to Mexico on the other, a speech that was on message. If you look at the polling, actually, contrary to what most pundits say, if you look at the specific policy items in that speech, majority or supermajority of support among independents and Republicans.
A huge difference with independents. But, of course, we have the debates coming up, so we'll see how that changes things.
Yeah, all right, Cliff Young, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Cliff.
Super helpful.
We appreciate
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.